Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. Today I want to talk to you guys about the law of allowance and the law of acceptance and how powerful this law is in helping you to manifest whatever it is you want to manifest in your life. And when we talk about this law of allowance and this law of acceptance, the really core, subject or topic that you talk about is resistance, right? Because the truth is that we're already tapped into the reality that we desire most. Our subconscious mind actually does already know what it is that we want. But because we consciously resist what we desire most, we keep ourselves from allowing good to flow into our lives. I want to talk to you guys about this idea of a sort of divine intelligence in all of our lives. On a deeper fundamental level, we have to start thinking about what it is that's keeping us alive. What is it that's keeping our heart beating? What is it that's keeping us breathing? All these functions, what is it that keeps our cells from regenerating, killing off the old cells and building new cells? What is it? What is this life force that's keeping us alive, right? And when we start thinking about this from this angle, from this perspective, we see that there is, in fact, a divine intelligence that's far greater than our concept of ourself that's keeping us alive. There's no one person who's directly responsible for my heart beating right now. There's no one person who's directly responsible for your own heart beating right now. It's just happening. So I say this because in our lives, we try so hard to control every little aspect and detail of what's going on in our lives. And we try so hard to find happiness or find love or find success by doing hard work through grit and through determination and through struggle. We think that we can find things outside of ourselves that will support us and make us happy and make us feel at peace. But really what I'm saying here is that it is this notion that you have to work hard and you have to struggle to get the things that you want in your life that are actually keeping you from allowing those things to flow into your life. Now here, let me give you guys an analogy. I think this analogy was given by the late, great Terence McKenna. And he said, imagine that you have a ramp, like a U-shaped ramp. And imagine that you had a marble and you dropped it off at one edge of the ramp, and the marble drops and goes to one side, right? And it goes to the other side, and it goes to the other side, until what happens? It ends up in the middle. And he said, this is essentially what's happening with the universe right now, is there's a main point of attractor in the universe right now, and that main point of attraction in this example is the marble in the center of the bowl, right? And if we just allow the marble to drop and do its thing, it will end up where it needs to be, right? And that's what the universe is doing. It seems like the universe is attracted to this one point of attraction, right? And what's happening with our lives right now is that we're swinging back and forth, but we're all moving towards this one point of attraction. The difference between what my quality of life may be as opposed to your quality of life may be that I allow the universe to work for me. I allow the universe to do what it needs to do, and I don't resist what happens in my life, right? And this is where this law of acceptance and this law of allowance comes into play. Because the reality is that this divine intelligence, call it what you want, the divine intelligence, the universe, God, whatever, has the best and highest outcome for you, right? It's bringing you towards the best and highest outcome at all times. It's trying to allow good things to flow into your life. It's working to allow abundance to flow into your life. It's working to allow health to flow into your life. It's working to allow whatever it is, love to flow into your life. But it is you. It is you that has believed in this idea that you don't have these things. And that's what's keeping you from realizing these things. Here's another analogy. Another analogy is going down a river, right? In a river, there's a natural stream, there's a natural flow. And what we're doing in our lives is we're flowing against the river. We're swimming as hard as we can upstream when the river is actually taking us to our goals, our dreams, love, money, abundance, everything. The natural flow of the river is taking us to where we need to be. It's taking us to the highest and best outcome. But what we do is we say, we have to work, we have to struggle, we have to use force to get the things that we want in our lives. So we swim upstream. And what that creates in our lives is massive suffering and fatigue and stress and anxiety, because we're always flowing upstream. We're always going against what the universe has in store for us. We're not trusting the sequence of events that happens in our lives. We're always judging what happens in our life. We're saying, oh, this happened, this is bad, this is not good for us. We're judging everything. We're being reactive to external events, when in reality, the universe knows that it's taking us to the place that we need to be. I remember a couple times when I was a kid, and this happened recurringly, where somehow or another, I would leave my workbook in the classroom, and I wasn't able to complete my homework assignment. And I would be on the way to school, and I'd be so stressed out and so anxious because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get in trouble, or I don't know. I'd always just be so stressed and anxious because I was like, oh, I'm gonna look bad in front of the teacher because I didn't do my homework, or yeah, I'm gonna miss out on my 2 points for homework credit, and that's really bad. And I'd be really stressed out like the entire ride over to school because I didn't do my homework, and there was nothing I could really do about it. And eventually I'd always reach this point where I would feel so much stress, anxiety, and frustration where I was like, you know what? Let me just accept the fact that I didn't do the homework and I'm going to miss out on the 2 points. So there would be all this stress and frustration, and then there would finally be this point where I just surrender and I'd say, you know what? There's nothing I can do about it now. I surrender. Whatever. I didn't do the homework. I'm going to lose the 2 points. And whenever I did that, whenever I surrendered, whenever I accepted the circumstance, something magical would happen. And this happened on multiple occasions. I would enter the classroom and sit down, and the teacher would always say something along the lines of, hey class, we have a lot of things going on today, so I'm not going to have time to check your homework. I trust that you guys all did your homework, so I'm giving you guys full homework credit for today. And I would sit there in astonishment of how lucky I got that the one day I didn't do my homework, I got the homework credit. She didn't check, my teacher didn't check the assignment. And this happened on multiple occasions when I was a kid. And that's when I started realizing this law of surrender, this law of acceptance, this law of allowance. And when we connect this to the topic of manifestation, basically what the law of allowance is saying is allow yourself to have good things in your life. Allow yourself, accept the reality that you desire. Accept it right here and right now. Stop believing in this false assumption that you need to do something in order to have what you desire. And I talked about this in a previous video. titled Allow Your Desires to Emerge Through You, of stop saying that you don't have what you want, or stop saying that I want this thing so bad, because it implies that you don't have what you want. It implies that you don't have what you want. So if you feel a desire for something, allow that desire to emerge through you and say, I allow myself to experience this desire. I accept this desire. If you want to make more money, tell yourself, I allow myself to have more money. I accept having more money, right? And when you do this, you are moving with the flow of life, okay? You're moving with the flow of life. You're allowing the universe to take you to the highest and best outcome. And that is what becomes your practice for manifestation throughout your daily life. When you start feeling like there's resistance, when you start feeling like I really want this thing, but I can't have it, you have to realize that you are the only person who is keeping yourself from having the thing that you want. Okay? You are the only one who's keeping yourself from having the thing that you want. And a great affirmation is to tell yourself, or signal to your subconscious mind, I allow myself to have this thing. I accept having this thing, right? That's a really great thing to say. I'm sure there's many of you who found out about the law of attraction or manifestation or Neville Goddard when you reached a point in your life where you were so frustrated, or you had so much stress, or you had so much anxiety, or you were experiencing so much overwhelm and depression or something like that, and life wasn't working for you because you were using so much force, and finally you said, you know what, I give up, I don't know what to do, I surrender. And when you were in that state of surrender, that's when you found out about the law of attraction or Neville Goddard or whatever it may be. I remember, for me personally, when I was in my freshman year of college, and I had so much anxiety about things, and I was always trying to work so hard to make things work, right? I was trying so hard to make friends, or I was trying so hard to gain people's approval or validation, or I was just trying so hard to be like this perfect human being. And I thought I had to use force. I thought I had to use willpower and force and hard work to get all the things that I wanted. And the more and more I would do that, the more and more I was frustrated with my life, because the harder and harder I worked, the more and more force I used, it seemed like the more and more I was pushing away the reality that I wanted for myself. And once I got so frustrated, where I got to the point where I was like, you know what, I don't know what to do. I give up. I've put so much force, I've put so much effort into getting the thing that I want. And once I was like, you know what, I'm so frustrated with this, I give up. I surrender. I surrender. Universe, I surrender. You win. That's when I found out about Eckhart Tolle. And that's when this sort of spiritual dimension arose within me, where I realized that there is in fact a divine intelligence that is much greater than this concept of myself, this much greater concept of this ego, of me. And I actually have the whole universe on my side. You know, there was a book by I don't know who made this book, but the title of the book is "The Universe Has Your Back," and I love that title because it's so true. It's a core fundamental belief of mine that every one of us, and if you're watching this video, you're included in this. We are all heading towards a bigger, better, brighter reality, and the universe is taking us there on this journey. And we all have our different life paths to walk, and we all have our little different journeys, but we're all ultimately heading to the same place. And the people that will enjoy the journey are the ones who release their resistance to the universe. It's the ones who allow things to happen. It's the ones who allow and give acceptance for how things play out. These are the people that aren't going to be so tense, that aren't going to be so anxious, that aren't going to be so depressed all the time. These are the people that are going to allow things to unfold because they know that the highest and best outcome for their life is unfolding before them. And that's my message to you guys in this video, is to trust that your subconscious mind knows what you want. On a deep fundamental level, subconsciously, we all know what we want. But we gotta stop resisting what it is that we desire. And we have to start accepting what it is we desire. We have to start allowing what it is we desire to flow through us. And we got to stop getting in our own way and resisting things all the time and thinking that we have to rearrange things in the external world so that we can have what we want. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. So I hope this video somewhat gives you guys some clarity on this law of acceptance and this law of allowance, that when you allow your desires to unfold in your life, when you accept your desires, you will live the highest and best life that you can possibly live. But you got to trust the universe. You got to trust that this divine intelligence that's keeping our hearts beating, that's keeping our lungs working and our bodies going, this divine intelligence that keeps the sun rising in the morning and setting at night, it has our best interests at hand. And we don't have to use so much force and hard work and willpower to get the things that we want. Instead, we can trust that there is something much greater than us that has our back and that's helping us to move into the direction that we want to move in our lives. So remember, life's not only about the destination, it's about the journey. So allow life to flow freely. Go with the flow. Stop trying to understand everything all the time. Trust that a divine intelligence has your back and that everything that you want is yours. I hope this video helped you guys. Thank you so much. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, click the bell notification, share this with other people. This is a really important message, and I just want to give you guys a lot of love, blessings, and gratitude for being alive. This is Thanksgiving week. Enjoy your time with your friends and family, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much, and goodbye.